by Diego Figueroa. Introduction to Organismal Ecology. Desert Adaptations. Statement of Purpose. Forest and Rainforest Adaptations. Importance of Organismal Ecology. Types of Adaptations. Arctic and Antarctic Adaptations. Aquatic Adaptations. Case studies of specific organisms. Acknowledgements. Conclusions. Table of content. What is it? Organismal ecology is the branch of ecology that studies how individual organisms interact with their environment. It focuses on the adaptations, both physical and behavioral, that allow plants and animals to survive and reproduce under specific conditions. These adaptations can be physiological, morphological, or behavioral, and they are shaped by environmental factors such as temperature, water availability, predators, and competition. Statements of purpose. The purpose of this presentation is to explore the field of organismal ecology, which focuses on how individual organisms interact with their environment. Organismal ecology examines the different ways living things survive and reproduce under the pressures of their surroundings. By looking at a variety of examples, from the Arctic fox in freezing tundras to cacti in deserts and salmon in aquatic systems, this presentation will explain how species develop special features and behaviors known as adaptations. Number 2. These adaptations can be physiological, morphological, or behavioral. Understanding them not only helps us see how species thrive in extreme or challenging habitats, but also gives us insight into the larger ecological processes that sustain biodiversity. Number 3. Another purpose is to emphasize the importance of studying these adaptations for conservation and sustainability. As human activity and climate change alter environments around the world, knowledge of organismal ecology becomes essential for predicting which species are most at risk and how ecosystems might shift. Ultimately, this presentation aims to highlight the creativity of nature in shaping survival strategies and to show why protecting these systems matters for the future of life on Earth. Physiological adaptation. Physiological adaptations are internal body processes or functions that help an organism survive in its environment. They are not visible externally but are crucial for maintaining life. These adaptations often help with temperature regulation, water retention, or energy use. Examples: Arctic fox has a thick fur coat and a fat layer under its skin to retain body heat in extremely cold Arctic conditions. Polar bear. Black skin under its white fur absorbs heat from the sun, while the thick fur and fat layer prevent heat loss. Why it matters: physiological adaptations allow organisms to survive in climates or environments that would otherwise be deadly. Morphological adaptations. Morphological adaptations are physical features or body structures that help an organism survive. These traits can be permanent structures like spines, fur, or special body shapes. Examples: cactus spines reduce water loss and protect it from herbivores, while thick stems store water to survive long dry periods in the desert. Tree frog sticky pads on its feet allow it to climb trees in humid rainforests, helping it reach food and shelter. Why it matters: morphological adaptations help organisms physically cope with environmental challenges, making it easier to find food, avoid predators, and survive. Behavioral adaptations. Behavioral adaptations are actions, habits, or behaviors that organisms develop to survive. Unlike physiological or morphological adaptations, these are what organisms do, not what they are. Examples: penguins huddle together in extreme cold to conserve body heat as a group. Kangaroo licks its forearms to cool the blood and regulate body temperature in the hot Australian desert. Why it matters: behavioral adaptations allow organisms to respond to environmental changes quickly and can often be adjusted over an individual's lifetime. Arctic and Antarctic adaptations. Arctic fox. Adaptation type: physiological and morphological. Example: thick fur coat and a layer of fat under the skin. Environmental factor: freezing temperatures. Effect on survival: retains heat, keeps the body warm, and allows the fox to survive in harsh tundra climates. Polar bear. Adaptation type: physiological and morphological. Example: black skin under white fur, thick blubber. Environmental factor: cold temperatures and UV exposure. Effect on survival: absorbs heat from the sun, provides insulation, and helps camouflage in the snow. Penguins. Adaptation type: behavioral and physiological. Example: huddling in groups. Environmental factor: extreme cold and wind. Effect on survival: conserves heat collectively, reduces energy loss, and improves chances of surviving freezing conditions. Desert adaptations. Kangaroo. Adaptation type: behavioral and physiological. Example: licks forearms to cool blood. Environmental factor: high temperatures. Effect on survival: helps maintain body temperature and prevents overheating during extreme heat. Cactus. Adaptation type: morphological. Example: spines instead of leaves and thick fleshy stems. Environmental factor: water scarcity. Effect on survival: spines reduce water loss and protect from herbivores, while thick stems store water for long dry periods. Forest and rainforest adaptation. Tree frog. Adaptation type: morphological. Example: sticky pads on feet. Environmental factor: vertical humid habitats. Effect on survival: allows climbing on trees and plants to reach food, escape predators, and find shelter. Chameleon. Adaptation type: morphological and behavioral. Example: ability to change skin color. Environmental factor: predation pressure and need for camouflage. Effect on survival: blends into surroundings to avoid predators and improves hunting success by sneaking up on prey. Aquatic adaptations. Organisms living in freshwater or marine environments face challenges such as changing salinity, water temperature, and the need to reproduce successfully in water. They have developed both behavioral and physiological adaptations to survive and thrive. Salmon. Adaptation type, behavioral and physiological. Example, migrates from the ocean to freshwater rivers to spawn. Environmental factor. Changes in water salinity and temperature. Effect on survival, ensures reproductive success by reaching suitable breeding grounds. Case studies. The USDA defines an invasive species as an alien species whose introduction does or is likely to cause economic or environmental harm to human health as per Executive Order 113-0112, Section 1. Definitions. The Mid-Atlantic Invasive Plant Council estimates that over 300 invasive terrestrial and aquatic plant species occur in the region. The Chesapeake Bay itself has more than 200 known invasive aquatic plant and animal species according to Maryland Sea Grant. Of those, the 6 species of greatest concern are mute swans, nutria, common reed, purple loosestrife, water chestnut, and zebra mussels. 13 species-specific case studies were developed to gain knowledge about some of the more pernicious invasive species in Maryland. These student-compiled invasive species case studies encompass both terrestrial and aquatic habitats, as well as plants, animals, and aquatic diseases. Conclusion number 1. Organismal ecology demonstrates how every species develops unique adaptations that allow it to survive and reproduce in its specific environment. Whether in the freezing Arctic, the dry desert, the humid rainforest, or the open ocean, organisms have evolved traits, physiological, morphological, and behavioral, that directly respond to the pressures of their habitats. This highlights the incredible diversity and resilience of life on Earth. Conclusion number 2. Adaptations are not random, but are shaped by environmental factors, such as temperature, water availability, predation, and competition. By studying these adaptations, we can better understand how organisms meet challenges, maintain balance with their surroundings, and ensure their long-term survival. This knowledge provides insight into the dynamic relationship between organisms and their environments. Conclusion number 3. A study of organismal ecology is also important for humans. By understanding how plants and animals adapt, we gain tools for conserving biodiversity, predicting the impacts of climate change, and developing sustainable solutions that respect the natural limits of ecosystems. In short, organismal ecology helps us appreciate both the fragility and strength of life in the face of environmental challenges. Importance of organismal ecology, because it enables us to comprehend how individual organisms interact with their surroundings and endure in a variety of environments. Organismal ecology is essential. Understanding these connections helps us understand the physiological, morphological, and behavioral adaptations that animals evolve. Acknowledgements. Thanks to Boise State University, bbc.co.uk, National Center of Biotechnology Information, NCBI, and University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science for bringing me the essential information for this presentation.